Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. We're going to start off by going through the history of Call of Duty. I'm not going to focus too much on the content of each release, but I want to go over the numbers for the Activision Call of Duty franchise throughout the years. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. The first Call of Duty, developed by Infinity Ward, was released in October 29th of 2003. United Offensive was the first expansion for Call of Duty as it introduced multiplayer. The NPD Group named Call of Duty the 18th best selling computer game of 2003. In the United States alone, Call of Duty sold 790,000 copies and earned $29.6 million. In 2005, Call of Duty 2 was released. It was another Infinity Ward developed game. Call of Duty was the most popular launch title on the Xbox 360, with 200,000 units sold in the first week of availability. By November 2013, the game had sold 5.9 million copies. In 2006, Activision went to Treyarch for the release of Call of Duty 3. Call of Duty 3 was one of the best selling titles of November 2006 in the United States. By November 2013, the game had sold 7.2 million copies worldwide. 2007 brought Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. It was originally developed by Infinity Ward, but then it was later remastered for the Wii, Xbox 360, and mobile by Raven Software. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare was the best Xbox 360 selling video game in the United States from November 2007 to January 2008. By November 2013, the game had sold 15.7 million copies. In 2008, we got Call of Duty World at War. It was written by Treyarch. Call of Duty World at War was the second best selling game for November 2008 in the United States. As of November 2013, the game has sold 15.7 million copies. In 2009, we got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. It was written by Infinity Ward, and the campaign was remastered by Beanox. After 5 days of sales, the game had earned revenue figures of $550 million worldwide. Activision also claims that Modern Warfare 2 had 8 million players online within the first 5 days, constituting the largest army of players in the world. In November 2013, IGN put the game's sales at $22.7 million. 2010 brought us Call of Duty Black Ops, and it was written by Treyarch. Within 24 hours of its release, Black Ops had sold 4.2 million copies in the US and 1.4 million copies in the UK. By November 2013, the game had sold 26.2 million copies. In 2011, we got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. It was written by Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer Games. It was the largest retail release in Activision's history and the industry's history. Modern Warfare 3 went on to gross 1 billion throughout the world in 16 days of availability. 2012 brought us Call of Duty Black Ops 2, written by Treyarch. Activision reported that Black Ops 2 grossed over 500 million in its first 24 hours, making it the biggest entertainment launch of all time until that record was surpassed by Grand Theft Auto 5 in September 2013. Black Ops 2 went on to gross 1 billion in the first 15 days of availability, beating Modern Warfare 3's record of the first 16 days. In 2013, we got Call of Duty Ghosts. It was written by Infinity Ward. Despite shipping 1 billion worth of units to retail channels within 24 hours of the game's launch, overall sales were down compared to 2012's Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Activision blamed the fail in demand on uncertainty caused by the upcoming transition to 8th generation consoles. As of February 2014, the game has sold over 19 million copies. We got Call of Duty Advanced Warfare in 2014 by Sledgehammer Games. It was reported in November 2014 that U.S. retail sales of Advanced Warfare were down 27% from the 2013 release of Ghosts. However, Advanced Warfare was still the top selling game in the USA for 2014. 2015 brings with it Call of Duty Black Ops 3 by Treyarch. Black Ops 3 sold over 6.6 million copies in its first week of sales. According to Activision, Black Ops 3 was one of the best selling games released for the 8th generation consoles. 2016 was a little bumpy for Activision and Call of Duty. We got Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Infinite Warfare sold 1.8 million copies in its first week in the US. Despite slow initial sales, Infinite Warfare was the top selling game in the US in November 2016. However, Activision reported in February of 2017 that the game missed their sales expectations, with one of the reasons cited was because it didn't resonate with the fans. Things picked up for Call of Duty and Activision in 2017 when we got Call of Duty World War II. It was written by Sledgehammer Games. The game earned over $500 million dollars within its first 3 days of release. On December 20th of 2017, it was announced that the game had generated over 1 billion dollars in worldwide revenue, and it was the highest grossing console game of the year in the US and the second highest in the UK. By the end of 2017, the game had over 20.7 million players. Things really went sideways for Activision and Call of Duty in 2018 when they gave us Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4 was the first mainline Call of Duty title without a traditional multiplayer campaign mode. However, it was the first Call of Duty to have a Battle Royale mode called Blackout. In February of 2019, Activision announced that the game did not meet expectations. Things started looking a little brighter for Activision and Call of Duty in 2019 when they brought us Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It was written by Infinity Ward. It was the first cross-platform gameplay where you could play across all the platforms: Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. It introduced a battle royale mode called Warzone. Modern Warfare earned over 600 million within its first 3 days of release, making it the highest selling game in the franchise during the current console generation and breaking several sales records, including the best digital opening in Activision's history. Modern Warfare had earned over 1 billion in revenue. In 2020, we got Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. It was written by Treyarch and Raven Software. The NPD Group named it the best-selling game of 2020 and also ranked it as the 20th best-selling video game in the United States by lifetime dollar sales by the end of 2020. Things went south again for Call of Duty in 2021 when they brought us Call of Duty Vanguard. That one was written by Sledgehammer Games. In May of 2022, Activision announced that Vanguard had failed to meet their sales expectations, attributing this to the World War II setting and the lack of innovation. The future started looking bright for Activision and Call of Duty in 2022 when they brought us Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. It was written by Infinity Ward. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 became the fastest selling Call of Duty game of all time. The game earned $800 million dollars in revenue in its first 3 days of its release. It was the best selling game in the USA in 2022. And now we get to current day Call of Duty in 2023, which is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 has been the top selling game as of November 2023, and as of December 13th, 2023, is the second best selling game of 2023 overall. So, as you can see, Activision Blizzard has had some ups and downs lately with the Call of Duty franchise. It will be interesting to see how well all this plays out once Microsoft, Xbox Game Studios, and ZeniMax fully get their hands on it. A lot of people criticize Bobby Kotick for the way he handled the company, surrounded by a lot of controversy toward the end of his tenure. Kotick was at the helm of Activision Blizzard for almost 33 years. With the $69 billion acquisition done, it'll be interesting to see how well the CEO of Microsoft Gaming, Phil Spencer, does with his new toys. At the end of the day, this is all a power move by Microsoft to solidify its position in the gaming industry. The 200 plus billion-dollar gaming industry is the largest and fastest growing form of entertainment. Even though Microsoft signed a deal with Sony for 3 years to retain cross platform play, specifically for the Call of Duty with the PlayStation consoles, it's anyone's guess how long that will last and how it will impact sales of Call of Duty on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. There's not really much information online about that deal, but there was also a 10-year deal to keep Call of Duty on the PlayStation. Now, whether or not that means cross platform play for the full 10 years, we really don't know. The information has been fairly ambiguous online. Now, I've played pretty much every single one of these Call of Duty titles since 2003. I can most certainly see why the specific titles failed like they did because I didn't even buy those titles that did poorly myself. I do believe Microsoft will have an uphill battle to retain the Call of Duty fan base. I, for one, have played Call of Duty for so long, and I can tell you it will be hard for Microsoft to keep the older generation of players. It's going to be interesting to see how creative the developers at Microsoft get to retain the older generation of players as well as attract new ones. I think AI will play a huge role in gaming as well. The hardware keeps getting better and better, and we really live in a cloud environment where servers host multiplayer games and game content throughout the internet. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see where Microsoft takes the whole Call of Duty franchise. Please leave your comments below and let me know what you think about the Microsoft Activision acquisition and what you think will happen with Call of Duty. I really hope everyone enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and please subscribe. Thank you so much.